And welcome back to the third in our Christmas specials here. Today we're going to be doing the veggies. So we're going to have parsnips, potatoes, carrots and a very special kale dish which you will really enjoy. It sounds a little bit strange, I know kale's not to everybody's liking, but trust me, this is a winner. So sit down, grab yourself a drink and enjoy the video. And obviously welcome back. So for this recipe, it's the veggies. Very simple and easy. You can, with the potatoes, if you part boil them for about 8 to 10 minutes, it gives you that sort of fluffiness. I quite like my roasties with the skins on because they're sort of a bit more like a small jacket spud, but if you cut them in half, then you get that benefit of them opening up and cooking and getting some flavours into them. Again, if you want to do traditional roast spuds, fine, do that, please do. For this recipe, this is the way I'm going to do it. So we've washed and chopped up a couple of big spuds here. We're just going to chuck them into the pan. Doesn't matter if they're odd sizes. We've also got 3 or 4 carrots here, and we've chopped them in half and then lengthways in half as well. We're just going to put them all into the pot. And the same with parsnips. We've got them and we're going to put them on the top, because what we wanted to do there is have the parsnips get caramelised, get sticky, get all a bit gnarly and a bit burnt, you know, and that's it. So the next step we need to do is give it a liberal splosh of olive oil. This is super simple, and again, if you wanted to do this ahead of the big day, by all means do. You could reheat this quite easily. Just put some foil over the top of it, stick it in the oven for 20-25 minutes at up 180, 200 degrees, and away you go. And it'll actually get better because those potatoes will get really soft and really yummy. We need to season, obviously, so we're going to use our Cole & Mason salt and pepper grill mills here, which is absolutely fantastic. Dead easy with this electric, super easy. We're going to put a good lump in there. Bear in mind that all of these vegetables will emit juice and that will break down. And we're going to give them some pepper as well. And away we go. Now, a little trick here, maple syrup. If you give that a drizzle over this, if you do it over carrots and parsnips together, it's pretty amazing. If you do it over the spuds, it's unbelievable. The flavour adds a little bit of sweetness. You don't want to go too nuts with it, but again, remember, it'll break down. So we want to give a good glug of that over the top. Not too much though, just so you can see it's on most of the top of the vegetables there as well. The other trick to this is we want a bit of fat in here. We've got olive oil, but ultimately a good couple of knobs of butter. Just chuck them in. 2 or 3 will do you, and that will really help melt down and give you some amazing dirty Christmas flavours. So I'll bring you in for a close-up so you can see what these veggies look like, and then let's get them in the oven. So those veggies are now gone into the oven along with that stuffing as well. They should be about an hour as well. I would check on them every sort of 30 minutes just to make sure they're not burning. If they are, take them out, give them a stir around. You know, be careful because they will obviously be hot, but give them a stir around, mix them up a little bit. But ultimately, you can now leave those for the next hour or so, and they should be perfectly cooked. And it's been about an hour and 20 minutes. I pulled them at an hour and 10, and about an hour and 10, and the spuds were a little bit firm, so I put them back in. The oven was still kicking out around 180 to 200 degrees centigrade, so quite hot, but the butter's sizzling in the bottom of this pan. You can smell it's mixed with that maple syrup. Everything's beautifully brown. I'll bring you in for a close-up now, but yeah, this looks absolutely phenomenal. So yeah, the next part of this is actually the kale, and we'll bring you in for that now. So, sorry, I had a bit of a problem with the audio for these next 2 video clips, so I'll have to do a narration. Apologies once again. So this is a really simple dish to do. You get some pre-washed kale in a bag from the supermarket. You can get fresh if you want. You just need to de-stem it. You need to drizzle over some sesame oil and then drizzle over some good quality olive oil. What this is going to do is when it cooks, it sort of, not fries it, but it does that. Now, so as a garnish and a little bit more extra flavour and crunch, you put some sesame seeds on there. These are going to roast down as well, and they're going to add even more flavour. And importantly enough, we've got to put salt and pepper on this, otherwise it will be a little bit bland. You just need a little bit of pepper and a little bit of salt using our trusty Cole & Mason electric grinders. These are so good and so easy. Anyway, so that now needs to go into the oven. It's around about 200 degrees. It's going to take 20 minutes, but you need to check it after about 10, give it a stir round, and then put it back in for the following 10. Just keep an eye on it. If it looks like it's starting to get too cooked and burnt, then you need to pull it out and leave it. But this is absolutely phenomenal. So let me get this into the oven, and then we'll bring you back once we've cooked this kale up. So here we go, the finished kale. It was a little under 20 minutes actually. The oven was obviously running a little bit warmer than I thought, but it's still come out perfectly. You've still got some green bits in there. The rest of it's sort of a bit crispy and crunchy. It's a little bit like that fried seaweed you get in the Chinese restaurants. It tastes absolutely phenomenal. You can see that I'm tasting it here, and it does actually taste absolutely amazing. It's got all the taste of the sesame, the olive oil you can taste, and then you get that little bit of bitterness from some of the burnt edges around it, and it really does make a very different side dish from your usual soggy greens that you might get. So look, I can urge you to give this a try. Even if you don't like kale, give it a shot. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and the like buttons. It helps us out, as you know. Keep your eyes peeled, because obviously the pièce de résistance video coming with the main course of the Christmas dinner.